Don't forget, the What Are You Doing podcast is now on every major podcast media platform, such as Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and many more. From all of us here at the What Are You Doing podcast, thank you for listening, and let's get to the show. How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What Are You Doing? This is another special episode of the What Are You Doing podcast called the Solo for Show. It's with me, your host of the regular What Are You Doing podcast. Let's hang out and talk to you a little bit about my life, a little bit about the things going on in the world, and a little bit about the 5 FACT SMACKDOWN. It's where I take 5 random facts from the internet, checked, double-checked, and triple-checked by the young JP and delivered by me. It's 5 random facts, and you just get to go out in the world and go, hey, did you know? 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 And then that's it. And that's all you get to do. But the thing is, you get a little bit smarter. So that's the second half of the podcast. First half of the podcast is just me hanging out and talking to you guys. Now, I'm not going to do any ads today, so let's get into the What Are You Doing podcast theme song. Boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. Okay, I was a little lazy on the theme song today, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I couldn't help it, dude. I couldn't help it. Okay, so that's it. That's whatever. You know what? That's the theme song. If you don't like it, turn it off, okay? Okay. All right, so what's happening? What's going on in the world? What are we talking about today? Let's get into, what, dude, okay. Hold on. Okay. So there's protests. There's riots. Nationwide protest. Worldwide protest because of another cop killing. Another black man getting killed by the police. And obviously there's a video. The video's dude, okay. Dude, homeboy's hands was in his pockets.
Not doing it.
Dude, if you dude, I don't even know how to start this, dude. Like, you murdered somebody in front of, okay, so 3 other cops is what I think happened. 3 other cops were there watching you just kill this guy. And then also other people are watching. And also there's a camera on you. And you think nothing's going to happen? Yeah, because nothing's been happening for a long time. And what does that mean? What does that mean to everybody? You know, what does that mean when people see you doing that, knowing nothing's going to happen? Well, it means that people are going to be finally fed up, be finally not taking this anymore. You know what I mean? And like, I'm a fan of the police. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these people that run around like fuck 12, this, that. The thing is, there are good cops. There are really good cops out there, and the police are needed, and there's, all the things like that. But the thing is, every group of people, every large group of people is gonna have bad people. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna have bad people in a large group of people. So like, if let's say, just let's say, when you're on Facebook and you see like a crazy lady on there and she's calling herself a feminist and she's insane and she's like, she's just the loudest voice and that's all you hear. That's not who they are. You know what I mean? A lady like that gives that movement a bad name, same as this guy gives the police a bad name. So am I against the police? No. Am I against police brutality? Yes. Am I against police brutality against black men? Yes. And we're living in some of the craziest times. We're living in some of the craziest times that I've never lived in a time like this, where a virus like destroys the fabric of the world. You know what I mean? Like, just decimates everything that's happening. Nobody can do anything. And then directly after that, a cop kills a black dude again, and then the world protests. The world protests. When in history has the entire earth protested? I mean, there's protests in all places of Europe and Canada. I'm not sure if Mexico's doing it or not. I haven't seen anything from there, but I'm sure there are some. They're brown people too. And to be a part of it and to go see it. So like I live in a town. I'm not sure if there's a lot of you who don't know. I live in a town called Racine, Wisconsin. If you see me, say hi. Something's going on with the audio. If it starts crackling or something, let me know. But so I'm trying to get my words right. Oh, so I went out to the protest the day that it was like scheduled. There's been protests every single day, but the day that it was scheduled, I went out and I wanted to check out what was going on. I wanted to be a part of it. And I took my camera out and I took some pictures. I took a lot of pictures, and I have never seen that many people out other than like the parade. Maybe I was in a group of more than 1,000, maybe even two grand people just walking down the street. When in history has that ever happened? In Racine, at least. And then when in history has the whole world protested the death of one man, the death of, all the men before him, obviously, too. But this was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And I think as of right now, I don't know the full news about it, but I think as of right now, the police officer has been charged. Whether he's going to be actually put through the whole system and everything, I don't know, but he has been charged. And I think the other guys are getting some kind of something. I'm not sure. If you're watching this on YouTube, please put in the comments. Let me know what's actually going on, because there's so much info everywhere that I just don't have time to like sift through it and figure it out and be able to tell you guys the hard honest truth. That was the same thing with the coronavirus. This is too much going on, and I just don't have the time to go through all of it and make sure that I'm telling you the truth. So, but as far as I know right now, some things are happening for these individuals, and that's a great thing. But it still doesn't mitigate the fact that this has been happening for a long time. Now there are people, I'm sure I have listeners that are like, what the fuck, man? Or you've probably even turned this off by now. But the thing is, there are there times where somebody gets killed by the police, black or white, that person was doing something they really shouldn't have been. They were, being violent or whatever, and then we just don't see that part? Yes, of course that happens. But in this case, the guy was in handcuffs. He was on his stomach. The cop had a knee in his neck for, 8 minutes or something it was? Somewhere around 8 minutes. And the guy said he couldn't breathe. And then the guy died later. Or he died there. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know all the info. But the thing is, I don't really even want to talk about this because it like really bums me out and it really puts me in a bad mood. And that's not what this podcast is all about. But what are you gonna do, dude? What are you gonna do? This is the world we live in. This is what's happening. This is how it's going down now. And when I went out to like I said, I went out to some of the protests, and it was, I've seen a lot of stuff on Facebook, people posting on Facebook about white people being a part of this and coming out to the protests and, making their Facebook posts and things like that. And I feel like that narrative, like talking about that in a negative way, is divisive, and I don't think it helps anything. And I think the fact that white people are coming out a lot, like a lot. There's a ton of white people out at these protests. And when I was there, I felt appreciative. When I was there, I felt like, awesome, they're here. The people that that, you know, are a part of this person's group, the guy who did the committed the crimes group, like, you know, group as far as like, you know, racial group, they're out here too. So they're with us. They're with all the people that are feeling like enough is enough. And I thought it was really cool, and it felt great to be out there, and it felt like you were safe and you were at home, and it was very cool. And I think that if you put negative things out there about white people being a part of this, or wanting to be a part of this, or showing their support, then you're becoming part of the problem as well. That's just me. And maybe I'm wrong, dude. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things, but I feel like if we have the support, let's have the support. It's awesome. Look how many bodies are out here. Look how many people across the globe are protesting this. And I think it's a really amazing thing. And I hope it doesn't stop. And I hope it doesn't turn into another, you know, Trump grabber by the pussy shit. Or I hope it doesn't turn into another coronavirus or whatever, that we just forget about it in 2 weeks. Like, it's gotta, like, these people bad people, cops or not, have to be held accountable. And that's I think that's all anyone's asking, is the bad people, whether they're cops or not, whether they're part of the FBI, whether they're Jesus Christ himself, needs to be held accountable. And I feel the support, I feel the love, and as a mixed kid, it's hard for me to identify with either side completely, because, you know, growing up, I've told you guys about this. Growing up, you know, I was like, where do I belong? Where do I belong? These people don't see me as part of them. These people don't see me as part of them. Where do I belong? I ended up somewhere in the middle, and I ended up feeling like a completely different thing from both of them. But at the same time, I'm not, and I understand it, and I feel the now that I'm older, things are a little different, and the support has been awesome, and the people out have been awesome, and I just think it's a cool deal, man. I think it's a cool deal, and as long as the looting and the rioting, okay, I understand that people don't. I understand people are angry, and I understand that they want to war against the system. Some people do, and I've never been a proponent of violence. I never will. It's just my opinion. Don't get mad at me, but I don't think the looting and the rioting should be a part of something like this. We saw them do it right before. When MLK was around, we saw them do it right then, and it made huge changes. And why mess up the formula? You know what I mean? Why mess up the formula of peaceful protest and just showing the fact that people care enough about what's going on to come out, say their piece, set these things up, be a part of it, and use their voices as part of to fix this, what's happening. I don't think violence, and I don't think like the looting is something that's necessary, and I don't think it's going to help the cause at all. I really don't. And because with violence comes violence. So if all these protests turned into looting and rioting, the army would be out, the National Guard would be out, and then they'd be doing violence on us, and then we'd be doing violence on them, and there'd be just violence, and it wouldn't stop, and it would roll over to these guys. You know the guys that are, you know, in their garage, and they're like saying all kinds of crazy shit. You know, they act like they like black people, but they don't. And they act like, you know, they're not racist, but they are. And then they say stuff like, if they would just stop being lazy, or if they would just stop doing this, you know, those guys, when it comes to a peaceful protest, there's a chance that those guys might see, oh shit, like these people they just want equality in this area of life. They just, you know what I mean? Like, you might be able to turn somebody with that, but once violence comes in, you're just compounding on what they think, and then you're not making an ally. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But the thing is, the point of all of this is to change minds and to change minds and hearts in the right direction. And I just don't think violence is the case. Wow, 15 minutes already, dude. Wow, dude. Okay, so I guess that's all I'm gonna talk about today. Why would I think anything otherwise? Well, okay.
Oops.
Didn't mean to talk about that whole entire time, but that's fine. It's what's going on, and it's what we do, dude. It's what we do. A little bit about the world, a little bit about, five, and then now the 5 FACT SMACKDOwn.
5 FACT SMACKDOwn. I guess we're getting smart now.
Fact 1 for the 5 FACT SMACKDOwn. I think we can all agree that 2020 has been a complete shit show. This week we have fun, random, and positive facts that hopefully take our mind off things just for a few minutes. Thank you so much. So the young JP, Josh Poplinski, he does the facts, and that's something he wanted to say, and that's awesome. So fact 1 for the 5 FACT SMACKDOwn. Remember Finding Nemo? Okay, dude. Remember Finding Nemo? Surprised that Crush the sea turtle seems stoned in a kid's movie? There's an actual pretty cool reason. Sea turtles eat jellyfish, and the poison inside the jellyfish doesn't harm them, but instead intoxicates them, much like marijuana does to humans. What, dude? So sea turtles, they go around and eat jellyfish to get stoned, dude. The young JP came through. Hey! The young JP came through on the facts today. Give me 1 second. Give me one second. Okay. The dogs are barking. I had to close the door. Okay. The young JP came through on the facts today. That's amazing, dude. I had no idea that was even a thing. Dude, just sea turtles just running around getting high, dude. Okay. Fact 2 for the 5 FACT SMACKDOwn. Righteous? No. It is sad. It is a sad fact that the Golden State Bridge in San Francisco is a site where many suicides take place. However, California Highway Patrol officer Kevin Briggs, who battles depression himself, has personally talked more than 200 people down from the bridge throughout his career. He has since retired in 2013. I mean, who? This is the kind of guy I want on the podcast, on the regular show, on the Wednesday show or whatever. This is the kind of guy I want on because, dude, how cool is that fucking dude? And to jump off of a bridge or building, I guess that's like the least scary thing to do. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I don't have, I was never, I had like chemical imbalances in my brain, and there have been bad things that happened in my life, but I've never been close to thinking about suicide. So I guess I never put much thought into it, but it makes sense that, jumping off of a bridge wouldn't be the most scary thing in the world. And you see the water down there, and usually that is a good thing. Even though you're going to die, you see the water, and it kind of puts a little bit more comfort in you. I don't know. Very weird. Very weird. Psychology is a weird thing. Fact 3 for the 5 FACT SMACKDOwn. The top 6 foods that make you fart are beans, corn, bell peppers, cauliflower, cabbage, and milk. Cauliflower, dude. Dude, I'm telling you something right now, dude. You give me some cauliflower, dude. That's what I sound like every time, dude. Sometimes I fart so much, dude, my voice.
Oops.
Sometimes I fart so much after cauliflower that, like, I won't Like, if I eat cauliflower, I know I won't invite the girl over. Like, no joke. Like, I'll be like, yeah, babe, tired tonight. Like, just because I had too much cauliflower and I don't want. Okay, do you fart in front of your significant other? Now, I've lived with one girl in my life for like 4 or 5 months. So we never got to that point, and ever since then, I've only ever dated girls for maybe a year, and I've never lived with them. So I've never been one to fart around my girlfriends. Now I'm a 30-year-old man, and I think I farted in front of a girl once on accident when I was laughing. One time. That needs to change. It needs to change. I don't want it to, though, because I don't like farts. I don't like it when I fart. I think it smells like assholes, because it is. And whenever a girl farts, I'm like, that's going to smell like assholes. And I'm going to taste and smell what the inside of your asshole tastes and smells like. And I don't want that, you know? I mean, possibly after a couple bottles of wine, maybe the outside, but not the inside. You know? I don't know. But, so cauliflower is definitely huge for me. Cabbage, yes, cabbage too. Milk, not so much. Beans, kinda. Corn, never, because corn's it doesn't even digest. I don't know how that works, because corn doesn't even digest. It just, you eat it and it leaves. Like, it's just there to fill up your stomach so you don't feel hungry. Fact 4 for the 5 Facts Smackdown. The average male gets bored on a shopping trip after 26 minutes. It takes the average female 2 hours. Now, you know, that is true. And I used to have to go. So I had one girlfriend who loved makeup. She was a makeup artist. She was a cosmetologist. She did hair. And so I'd have to go to Sephora and whatever shit the other places are. And it was a huge pain. And I hated it. And so for about 10 minutes, I would be grabbing stuff and showing her. And I would be like, can I put this on you? And she'd say no, because it's, you know, she's a pretty girl and she doesn't want me to fuck her face all up in the middle of the day. And then I'd be like, okay, fine, I'm bored. I'm going to go outside and smoke cigarettes for a while. This is back when I smoked cigarettes. And that was it. And then I would just sit in the car for like an hour and a half and be like, why the fuck am I even here? Why didn't I stay home?
Oops.
Because I was a young kid and I thought being around your girlfriend was a great idea, even when you weren't having fun. Hey, worst idea ever. Do what you want to do and get together when you want to. All right. Fact 5 for the 5 Facts Smackdown. Baggage fees for airlines are absurd. Here is what one man did to beat the system. In 2012, a man wore 60 shirts and 9 pairs of jeans on an 11.5-hour flight from China to Africa to avoid fees. That's a cheap dude. That guy's cheap as fuck, because I'll tell you what, I've been on a plane for 3 hours, and the fact that I had one shirt on was bugging the shit out of me. The fact that I even had underpants on and not sweatpants on made me regret my life completely. So that guy is a trooper, and he's cheap as shit. Am I cheap? Yeah, I'm cheap as shit. But the thing is, I'm not that cheap, because next time I go on a plane, I'm going to take an extra bag just for my jeans, and also I'm going to wear sweatpants, because fuck that. Airplanes suck. Not the actual flying part, just the fact that you're in a seat like this shit right here, and then this is all you get, and you got no kicky space. You got no kicky space, and then you're just there, and then you got to do this for 3 hours. And if you have a buddy here, like I had my buddy here, and I bullied him a lot. Oops. And I was like, I want this armrest too, and I had this one, so this was us. But for him, he was like this, and I was like, you know what? That sucks for you, dude. But the thing is, when I do this and you move your arm, now it's mine. If you wouldn't have moved it, you could have had it. But the thing is, you were like, you can have it, and I was like, poof, and then now it's mine. And the thing is, once you take something and someone lets you take it, it's yours now. Just saying. That's the world we live in. What are we at? 24 minutes? Well, that was the 5 Facts Smackdown.
5 Facts Smackdown. I guess we're getting smart now.
So, what did we learn today? That we can talk for 15 minutes. I got a hair on my tongue. Talk for 15 minutes about... I could have talked about that forever. We live in strange times. We live in a crazy, crazy world. And what are we supposed to do, dude? Just keep your head on straight. Just keep your head on straight. Don't go crazy. Don't go do something crazy and then be like, "Oops, I'm in jail," or
Oops,
I'm dead, Just do your best to be a regular human. And if you're out at the protest, is that normal? No, but the thing is, do that. Go out to the protest. Don't riot, please, for the love of God. You don't want to get hit in the head with a rubber bullet. I've seen a couple of them videos, and shit's not pretty. Be safe. And for all of my, minority friends that are out there, be safe. Don't give anybody any reason to fuck with you, because I think people are waiting. People are just waiting for that reason. And to all my white friends out there who are going out to the protest, a mob mentality can turn real quick. It can turn real quick. So keep your wits about you, because you never know what's going to happen. You just never know. If this thing keeps escalating and it ends up being very bad escalation, not a good escalation, but a very bad a not good thing, it could end up being bad for some white people going out to stuff like that. You never know. The thing is, we're at such an impasse, and there's so much anger and so much hurt right now that you never know what's going to happen. So everybody, be careful, be cautious, when you're all together out there at the protest, look to your right and look to your left and realize these are your brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Whether they're white, black, brown, hopefully there aren't green people. If there are, go to the hospital.
Oops.
But realize that these are all your brothers and sisters, and that everyone's here to support the same thing. And try not to burn down buildings. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do. I mean, Walgreens being burned down. The girl I'm seeing works at a Walgreens, and they closed the Walgreens down because of the riots. Because they were like, well, we might get burned down today, so maybe you should go home.
Buy some knee pads.
Okay, we might get burned down today. I don't know. It's a crazy time. And am I right or am I wrong? I don't know. But the thing is, these are my opinions. And if you have an opinion, please put it in the comments if you're watching it on YouTube. Because, one, comments help. Two, I'd love to hear your opinion, because I'm a human. And my favorite thing is to talk to other humans and hear their opinions. That's why I have a podcast. And three, other people could see it. Other people will see it. And maybe you can help educate some other people and maybe turn some minds around as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. Stay cool, stay kind. This was the What Are You Doing podcast.